Alright guys, so I don't know if y'all like me, but look, who is Emma Frost exactly? Look, all we know right now is that she is bad as fuck and she is gonna be my main for the next 3 months, alright?
I'm not gonna lie, I just hit Grandmaster, so hit me up if y'all wanna play.
But look, I'm not gonna lie either. When she first popped up, I thought she was Luna, but like a different skin, you feel me? But today we are gonna see who Emma Frost really is, what her powers are, what she's done to the X-Men / Avengers. And yeah, let's get straight to it. So look, starting off with her abilities, the first one, making my meat hard. But the other ones, she is able to transform her body into a diamond form. She also is a telepath, right? So basically she can mind control and manipulate anybody she wants to. Man, she can manipulate me though. But look, I'm not gonna lie, I thought she was just gonna be a Luna Frost part 2, a clone. But look, she's actually really different. Now that we've talked about her powers, let's get into her past, a little bit of background, let's see who she really is for real. So look, coming to my knowledge and analysis, right? Basically, she was born into a wealthy family and she didn't get her powers until she was about like a little teenager. But look, the thing is, and what shocks me so much, is that she was a bad guy towards the X-Men. Like, she was running her own school and everything just so she can go against the X-Men. But look, over time, she started to feel a little resentment, towards the X-Men, and ended up teaching at Xavier's school, for all the mutants and everything, the X-Men basically. And look, she eventually became a member of the X-Men, fighting for mutants. All in general, right? That's pretty badass. That's why she's my wife for real. And another thing I wanted to point out is that she didn't always have that diamond-like form. She actually acquired it through her second mutation during the Battle of Genosha, or the destruction of Genosha. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. But look, it basically just maxes her strength and durability. And yeah, that's just hard as fuck. She bad as fuck. So look, now that we've talked about her background and her powers and abilities, let's get into the worst things that Emma Frost has done. So look, one of the worst things that she's done, in my opinion, is cheating with Cyclops. This is crazy. So she masked herself as Jean Grey. While this is happening, also, I'm just letting y'all know, Jean Grey and Cyclops are married at this point. But apparently she masked herself as Jean Grey, and yeah, she had an affair with Cyclops. And look, I ain't gonna lie, look, that's evil. Like, I wouldn't even wish that on my worst enemy, you feel me? But yeah, that's just tough. And another thing is too, she also dated my boy Iron Man, the philanthropist, the billionaire, the playboy. He tough, just the way he sits in that suit, man, he's so tough. But look, while she was preparing to marry Iron Man, apparently she was wiping Iron Man's mind the entire time. And look, that's just crazy. I didn't even know she was with Iron Man. But yeah, and one of the craziest things she's ever done is taking over the galaxy. I didn't even know she was able to do that. I didn't even know she had the skills like that. Like, I didn't even know she was like that. I didn't know she was built like that. But yeah, she took over the galaxy, and that's just one like the alternate versions of her. But look, like, I didn't know she had it in her like that, But look, that is one of the craziest things that she has done, and the evilest things that she's done. So like, yeah, that's all crazy to me. So look, now that we know more about Emma Frost, we can finally play her and understand her in Marvel Rivals. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate my co-host, and I also appreciate you guys. Y'all are about to get me to 70 subscribers. I really appreciate that so much. And yeah, also, if y'all want to play Marvel Rivals, just leave a comment, because I'm always here. But yeah, I appreciate y'all so much, and yeah, I'll see you on the next video.